Hey guys, today I am going to be talking about Batman, Mask of the Phantasm, released in 1993, directed by Bruce Timm and Eric Radomski, and stars the voice talents of Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. The film follows Batman as he reconciles with a former lover, Andrea Beaumont, and faces a mysterious vigilante, the titular Phantasm, who is picking off Gotham City's crime bosses. Now, just to get into a bit of background with this film before we get things started, the film is, of course, based on the critically acclaimed Batman the Animated Series, which is, of course, the first installment in the wider DC Animated Universe, or the DCAU, which, of course, was then followed by Superman the Animated Series, Batman Beyond, and both Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. Of course, there were several animated films to come out of this universe, but this was not only the first one, but was also the only one to get a theatrical release, a proper theatrical release, after Warner Brothers quickly changed their minds after seeing the potential that this had. And unfortunately, because it released in theaters without warning to the general public, it sort of crash landed. However, critics did respond to this film quite positively. It, of course, since got a cult following, and today it's now sort of regarded as one of the best Batman films ever made. And to an extent, I absolutely agree with them because this film is fantastic. I am a big fan of Batman the Animated Series. It's possibly the greatest piece of Batman media outside of the comics. And it has great writing, it has great character work, it has a spectacular voice acting as well. And of course, the music is great as well. Yeah, I can't really think of many pieces of Batman media that does the character justice better. And that's probably why Mask of the Phantasm works as well as it does, because it plays out like a feature-length episode of the series, and everything that you've loved about the series is, of course, present in this film. And it also works solidly enough if you've never seen an episode of the show before, so it can function as a standalone if you want it to. Like I said, the film revolves around Batman solving this mystery where this phantom-like figure is taking out these notorious mobsters, but the writers smartly interweave flashbacks into the narrative where it not only shows Bruce's past relationship with Andrea, but also his early beginnings as Batman, and it really works despite the non-linear structure of the narrative. And of course, without going into spoilers, it all weaves together so well. Now, of course, the story wouldn't work as well if it weren't for the great vocal performances from the voice cast. And while everyone does a great job, I'm only going to be highlighting three of them. The first being the late and legendary Kevin Conroy as Bruce Wayne / Batman. Uh, what a legend. I can't believe he's gone. But of course, he's of course fantastic as the character. He's probably the definitive voice of Batman. And he will continue to be till the end of time. I mean, he's fantastic in mostly everything he's been in as the character. And it's no different here. Rest in peace. Of course, you can't have Kevin Conroy as Batman without the legendary Mark Hamill voicing the Joker. Like Kevin Conroy, he's fantastic in everything he's in as the character. No difference here as the Clown Prince of Crime. And he's actually the only Batman villain to appear in the film. There's no Two-Face or Killer Croc cameo or anything like that. And the reason why Joker in this film works as well as he does is because the writers smartly connect him to the larger mystery that's going on in the film, and it is done very effectively. And lastly, there is Dana Delaney as Andrea Beaumont, Bruce Wayne's former flame, and she is great in the role. She's very charming, she's very charismatic, and you can easily see why Bruce Wayne would fall for someone like her. And her role in the film is also great. She used to be Bruce Wayne's girlfriend, and the flashbacks and the present day where you see them together, they have great chemistry, and it also illustrates why this romance was never meant to be. It's tragic stuff, but it is beautiful stuff, and she's fantastic. Fun fact, Dana Delaney would go on to voice Lois Lane in Superman the Animated Series, which doesn't surprise me because she's perfect for the role, and she's perfect in that show too. And before I move on to the technical stuff, the pacing of the film is really good. Like, the film is 70 minutes or over 70 minutes, and considering that everything that happens in the film, it all flows really well. Like, not a second of it feels wasted. Okay, now let's talk about the animation. Now, in addition to the great writing that the animated series is known for, it's also known for its famous use of the Art Deco or Dark Deco style, and it gives the world of Batman a really cool look. And in the film, which has a higher budget in comparison, the visuals have a certain cinematic quality to it, so the animation looks as good as it can possibly be, and it works really well for this film. And it's all complemented by the late Shirley Walker's fantastic musical score. I mean, I would play a clip of the opening credits if the YouTube copyright system would allow it. But oh man, whenever I listen to that choir in the opening, I feel this. Now, while I do consider this film to be among the best Batman films ever, I mean, this could be in my top 10, maybe even top 5. It's not perfect, and it was very apparent on my rewatch of this film. One of my genuine issues I have with the film is Commissioner Gordon. Bob Hastings does do a good job in the film voicing the character, as he does in the animated series, but his role feels kind of pointless. Like, he's there 2 scenes and only has 2 to 3 lines, and 20 minutes in he leaves and he's not seen again for the rest of the film. I know he's supposed to be the voice of reason within the GCPD when they think that Batman's the culprit, but he doesn't do anything to help him out, and if you removed him, the film wouldn't be changed all that much. In fact, it would remain unchanged. And speaking of the GCPD, I thought the whole subplot was a little bit undercooked. Like, a good chunk of the film deals with the fact that they're, of course, thinking that Batman's the culprit who's going after the mobsters. But unfortunately, after this big sequence where they're trying to hunt him down in this construction site, they're not seen again, and they never found out that he was innocent. So, yeah, there was no real ending to it. As I've said before, you can watch this film on its own, but I think it would be a little bit advisable, if you wanted a bit more context of this version of the character, because the film does start in the middle of the action. It would be best if you watched the first season of Batman the Animated Series, or at least a handful of episodes to sort of get the gist of it before you can jump into this. Overall, Batman the Animated Series is not only a great extension of the animated series, but it is a fantastic Batman film in its own right, and I highly recommend it to any Batman fan. And that's it. Hope you liked watching this video. If you want to like and subscribe, you are most welcome to. See you next time. Cheers!